This is the first video of many that I plan to do on this vehicle. But today, I'm going to show you how to attach a battery tender to the battery. Stay tuned. First, we have to go to the location of the battery, which is not under the hood, but in the back. So let's open that up and take a look. Okay, she's all opened up. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, I've already removed the spare tire to save time. And the battery tender that I've selected is the Optima Digital 400. It is excellent. I'll do a separate video reviewing this really good tender. It's a little expensive, but in my opinion, it's well worth the money. So let's get on into attaching it to the battery. So here's the negative terminal right here, and the positive is over here. You have to open this little cap, and there's a 10mm screw holding down the connector on this side, and there's a 10mm screw holding down the connector on the negative side. All I'm going to do is take those nuts loose. I'm not going to disconnect the battery, and connect a wire tender. Right, you put those connectors on, and then route the wire over here to the side. I'm going to connect the positive side first, and to do that, there's a small latch on either side. You want to just pull up on the latch like this, and the same on the other side. You can reach that with your finger, and just open up to access the positive connector. Then I'm just going to put a piece of tape on this little door to hold it open out of my way. Next, to connect to the positive connector, I'm going to use this 10mm wrench to take off the nut. Removing the nut does not disconnect the battery, but it's kind of loose, so I'm just going to hold it in place so that it doesn't become disconnected. The washer's not magnetic. Good to know. I'm going to use the screwdriver again to help me remove that washer. Don't drop it, or you're going to have another job on your hand. Okay. Now, I'm going to install the positive lead, which is this here, onto the positive terminal. So I'm going to push this back off in there like so to one side and put it onto that terminal like so. Okay. Then I'm going to replace the washer and the nut. Washer and the nut, and tighten it back down. I don't know the specific torque spec on the nut, but it wasn't very tight. I don't think it was tight enough, actually, when I just loosened it. So I would recommend about 10 or 15 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds would probably be a safe torque for that. Then, once your wire is in place, tighten down, just close your cap. Now we'll do the negative side. For the negative side, as you can see, I routed the wire underneath all of the brackets and handles. That'll help stabilize the wire and support it so it doesn't move around. Now let's take off the 10mm nut holding down the negative terminal and connect the negative tender wire. Just like with the positive side, we're going to take the 10mm nut loose, which once again was not tight enough. And we're going to take the nut off. Be very careful because this one will open. It won't stay shut. So I'm probably going to have to do this off the car and then replace this little bracket that holds the nut. Very interesting. It looks like the end of this, the bolt that the nut is on, is damaged on purpose so you can't get the nut off. So I'm going to chase those threads with a tap, clean it up, take the nut off, and install the tender. Alright guys, so in order to get that nut off, you're going to have to chase those threads with a tap, and the tap is a M6 by 1.0 thread pitch. Additionally, you're going to have to sand or file, in my case, the end of that bolt down small enough to where it can go in the tap. I know this is terrible, and I know I've lost half of my audience now because this goes far beyond the scope of this video, but this is what you're going to have to do to be able to get the nut off nice and clean so that you can install a tender that's permanent, if you want to, in the back of your X3M. They really don't want you accessing that battery to properly maintain it, so they can charge you $120 when it's time to change it out and reprogram it. And we'll be doing a video on how to reprogram and install a new battery in a future video. But yeah, this is what you have to do. Thread pitch is M6 by 1.0. I don't know if you can read that. Okay, so I got that that bolt all sanded down and chased the threads. It's tricky, so just like we did the other side, I'm going to put, and I got a new nut with an integrated washer, so I don't have to try and take the washer off separately. And we're just going to put the tender wire on there and put on that 10mm nut. So my threads are nice and clean now, and tighten it down with the wrench. So now the wires are all installed, and here's a quick view of the routing over to the side compartment for tendering. So we're all done. This is the battery tendering that she will be using, and it will be stored in the side compartment I'm about to open for her. Inside the side compartment is also the wire from the battery that we just hooked up. This is all she'll have to do now when she backs her car into the garage right next to the outlet to tender her battery herself. Now the battery's hooked up and being tendered by the Digital 400 battery tender. Thanks for watching.